And we welcome you to the 2025 version of the Guymon Pioneers Day Parade. Of course, Guymon Pioneer Days in their 93rd year here in Guymon, where the champions come to play the first weekend in May. They've had their first rodeo performance last night. I'm sure it was a great show. Didn't make it out myself. They'll have 3 more performances going on this afternoon, 2 o'clock. Of course, the afternoon performances are free to the public. Seaboard has taken care of sponsoring those afternoon performances, so won't even cost you anything to show up. And then there's today's afternoon performance at 2 o'clock, this evening at 7:30. And then on Sunday at 2 o'clock as well. My name is Jason Epp, and I'll have the call of our parade as they've started down there by Mr. Berger in that area and are just now making their way from 6th Street to 5th Street. Our Guymon police cars leading the way. Sponsors of the parade include Guymon Chamber and also Connection Church. The parade lineup volunteers, we want to thank them ahead of time too, the Guymon Lions Club and Priesthood Motorcycle Ministries. And as you know, as many animals that are in this parade, the parade cleanup, we are very thankful to Guymon and Texhoma FFA as they'll follow behind and clean up. So there's the Texas County Sheriff and also the Guymon Police leading the way. Coming up behind them, I'm sure we'll have quite a few of the fire departments. There's one of the old fire trucks, Guymon Fire Department. I think that's the one that sits down there at Station 1 inside the building. Of course, all the kids are making their way out on the road. Plenty of candy and toys being thrown out. Here's the Texas County firefighters. Of course, with so much open land that we have out here, you've got to have all kinds of different firefighting vehicles. Thank God for some of the rain we've got. Hopefully that will continue. It's been a rough stretch with no rain, and we sure are grateful for both our full-time firefighters as well as our volunteer firefighters all across the Oklahoma Panhandle and Texas Panhandles as well, as they do a great job keeping us all safe, but also working with each other. More of the Guymon Fire Department vehicles. As they make the turn here onto 5th Street. More from our Texas County firefighters. One of the water trucks that they'll have to use when they've got to deal with brush fires out in the fields. More from our Guymon Fire Department as well. Luck favors the bold. You better get out there.
Back up a little bit, boys. Audrey, Ellie, back up.
Here's some of our Texas County firefighters from all the way up at Huff. Like you said, all over Texas County, we'll have firefighters, trucks from all of them. One of the Texas County, another one from Huff up there, District 3. One of their water trucks. There's the firefighter vehicle, one of them from over at Baker, over on the eastern edge of Texas County. And Texhoma as well. A couple of Texhoma fire and rescue vehicles here.
Back up, kids.
Here's some of our firefighters from Hardesty. This is a Hardesty tanker truck. Another water truck from the Hardesty department. Here's the Guymon Fire Department. It says Miss Susie is the name of that big water truck. Here's the Guymon Fire Department ambulance. And another one of their ambulances. Guymon does a great job of training. I know that there are firefighters that come out here to train out at the lake, and also with just some of the other specialty items that Guymon has that maybe they can't get training other places, they're able to come out here and get it. Here's some of our Tyrone Texas County firefighters. More from the Guymon Fire Department. And here's the Guymon Fire Department, their hazmat vehicle. And they have to deal with any kind of chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, or explosive items. That they're, for this entire region out here, they cover for that. Here's the firefighter truck for Optima. Hope you saw that with the policeman pulled right in front of the camera, but that's going to happen from time to time, I guess. So. They're busy protecting and serving. They don't have time to worry about that. Here's some more of our volunteer firefighters from over in Optima. Looks like we've got a little bit of a log jam of fire trucks as far as the eye can see down 5th Street. Do you have any other kind of mic to pick up, like when the bands and stuff play or anything? They usually stop here and play, so I didn't know. Because this is pretty localized, isn't it? More of our volunteer firefighters from Goodwell here on the corner now. It's one of our water trucks from the Goodwell area as well. And also the Hooker Fire Department. They're also co-sponsored by the Crossroads Mentoring Program. And some of our local scouts carrying the American and Oklahoma flags. A Cub Scout troop from here in Guymon. And also the Boy Scouts Pack 163 and Troop 163 here in Guymon. And here we've got our parade marshal and queen riding along in the back. Next up, Wild West Ford. And we've got quite a few of the rodeo queens that are here in town as well, waving off to the crowd. These girls travel all over the country as a part of this. And of course, they're pretty good on a horseback as well. As you go out to the rodeo ground, you'll see them taking out the flags for the sponsors of the parade and riding throughout as well. We do thank them for coming to Guymon every year. More from Wild West Ford here in Guymon, showing off some of their vehicles. Now coming up is the very recognizable, the big longhorn steer horns on the front of it, the XIT Rodeo. Big old limousine vehicle. They're always known for throwing out frisbees, as we see those flying through the air today. The rodeo and reunion down in Dalhart that they have in August. Also sponsored by Down and Dirty Ditching out of Dalhart, Dumas, and Elkhart, Kansas as well. Of course, that XIT name, well known in history, is one of the largest, was the largest ranch at one time in the country. A lot of history with that place. And the tradition is carried on with the rodeo and reunion that they have. There's the XIT Rodeo Queen, Sophia Latinis, horse trailer. Riders following her, and here's some of the Longhorn steer. As they make the walk through town as well. Always a cool sight to see. They're docile creatures, but I don't know if I'd want to test those horns anyway. Plenty of cowboys and cowgirls to keep them in line as well. Next up, Seaboard Foods and their parade entry. I don't know what they've named it, but it looks kind of like pigs in space there. It does look like there is a pig on that rocket ship, so yeah. For those of you old enough to remember the Muppet Show, the old Pigs in Space show. And a cool little three-wheel vehicle there. Kind of an old Indy style vehicle with just one wheel in the back. That is wild. Horse-drawn carriage. And those members are from the Freedom Rodeo. Our next float, 4-H, exploring the new frontier in the 4-H Express. Messed up with wagon wheels. Oh, and they're handing out icicles there. Next up, the Knights of Columbus. The Knights of Columbus is 75 years, Panhandle proud. There's Knights of Columbus do a lot of good in our local neighborhoods. Next up, Panhandle First Bank. New Frontier, good deep roots, good people. Panhandle First Bank. And it looks like they've got Einstein riding on a golf cart behind them as well as part of Panhandle First. Next up, Anchor D Bank. They've got that pioneer spirit and banking of the future. And the kids keep moving further and further out in the road as they're not going to take any chances that they won't get that candy. That's the exciting part for them more than anything. And just as a reminder, I want to thank again the sponsors of the parade, the Guymon Chamber and also Connection Church. The parade lineup volunteers, the Guymon Lions Club and Priesthood Motorcycle Ministries. And parade cleanup, Guymon and Texhoma FFA. All kinds of activities have been going on starting last night and into today as a part of Pioneer Days. Like we mentioned, 2 o'clock today out at Henry C. Hitch Pioneer Arena. They'll be back on the Broncs and Bulls for this afternoon's rodeo performance. There's also a Pioneer Days tailgater tonight from 6 to 10 p.m. at Pickle Creek. Their wine and beer tasting is a part of that. Here's Prestige Farms of Oklahoma. They've got pig farms throughout this area, have a nice office over there in the Texhoma area. So a couple vehicles from Prestige Farms. From noon to 5 today, there will be over at Regency Auto Center. There'll be a car show over that way. Our next vehicle, hauling a rocket ship in the back there, is Life's Plan Physical Therapy. They're located just a block north and west of here. The new frontier lies within each of us on their rocket ship. I've been there for some treatment. They do a great job. Also want to mention the Mercantile. It'll be open out at the Texas County Activity Center till 7 o'clock tonight. So here's Dumpster Rentals, 580-651-3023, the number on that. Next up, Nextera Energy Resources. G-Town Motors, window tint, auto glass replacement. 580-461-1800 and 580-338-1616. Next up, the Point Rock Riders, who were established in 1948. These folks make the big ride all the way from Elkhart, Kansas, here to the Guymon Rodeo. I recognize a couple of folks in that group. I know one of them from over there and all the way on the western edge at Felt as a part of those riders. A long-standing tradition as a part of Guymon Pioneer Days Rodeo and Parade. The train out at Sunset Park is open from 2 to 8 as well today. If you are going to go to the rodeo, one of the fun things, you can get out there a little early at 1:15. That's when they do the mutton busting. And if you haven't seen the little guys get on the sheep, you're missing out. That is pretty fun. So there's the trailer for the Point Rock Riders. What a great tradition that is. Tonight from 2 to 5, there will be the tractor pull on the south side of the fairgrounds, as well, as that's a tradition for it. And then, of course, tonight the 7:30 rodeo, the third performance will take place, and they'll have the mutton busting for that at 6:45. So be sure to join a big full day of fun activities. I think that was some of our FFA from Guymon and Texhoma. Thank you to them, as I see they were falling behind. Here's many of our students from over at OPSU, Oklahoma Panhandle State University. Cheerleaders, football, basketball, softball players, all walking along with the parade. Aggie Sports. Here's the equestrian team, as they're up on their horses right now. Of course, an incredible rodeo tradition, an equestrian tradition over at Panhandle State. One of the most dominant rodeo programs in the nation. Coach Miller doing a great job, as I see some of his football players really building something over there as well, doing a great job as he seems to continue to build more wins each season onto that Panhandle State Aggie football program. If you haven't been over there, that's some good football. People do not realize the quality of football over there. Nice Camaro going by there. RT Motorsports stopping by. Some nice vehicles here, throwing out some candy for the kids as well. And everybody loves a little horsepower. That thing's got a Hemi. Some cool cars coming through. We do see one of the Guymon bands coming up. They've fallen a little bit behind some of the cars. Of course, when you're walking as a band, that does slow you down a little bit. They usually stop here at the corner and give a little performance. Hey, guys. There'll be plenty of candy behind you. Just get you a little rest. So is I believe that's the Guymon Junior High Band. It may be the high school. We can't tell from that far away. You know, some of the sponsors for the rodeo: Seaboard Food, Three Corners Connector, City of Guymon, PTCI, Panhandle First Bank, Nuestra Tierra Market, Wild West Ford, Results Realty, Tito's Handmade Vodka, A&K Land and Cattle, CRI Feeders here in Guymon, Anchor D Bank, QIS, Justin, Novus Wind Power, Hutches, Invenergy, Montana Silversmiths, Cinch, and also Equity Bank. Of course, the Cowboy Channel will be here filming as well. They'll be showing all of this later at a later date on their channel. Panhandle Printing, also one of the sponsors. Well, it is the Guymon Junior High Band and the Guymon High School Band as they're making their way down the parade route together. And we'll try to give you a listen in on the band. They usually will stop here and give a little performance. So thank you to the Guymon High School and Junior High bands as Batman, it looks like, makes his way through. R&B Auto Service. A nice jacked up pickup there. Ooh, looks like they're throwing out the good candy. Our next one, the vehicle says Future Leaders, Big Dreams, New Frontiers. That's Faith Learning Center. Our next float, Connection Church, as we've mentioned, one of the sponsors of the parade itself. Prayer changes everything. Yeah, we got a couple rodeo clowns out here. Of course, Rodeo Clown's one of the just incredible entertainers out there as a part of the rodeo. They put on quite a show themselves, even beyond the rodeo. And I believe that is the Guymon Elementary Band. We didn't have a sign with that, but since we've already had high school, we're already had junior high, we'll deduct that that's who that was. Next up, it looks like we've got the OPSU 2025 King and Queen here. The OPSU Fiesta King and Fiesta Queen. Joel and Victoria is what it says. Next up, Little Miss of Main Street, Young Miss of Main Street, those pageants. They're winners of those pageants in the back of the pickup there with their sash, throwing out some candy for the kids. And we've got more entries making their way up the parade route. I think we've got some more pageant royalty heading our way. It's our Northwest Domestic Crisis Services, Miss Teen of Main Street sponsorship here. The beginning of a new chapter. Nice float there. Next up, Seaboard Energy, which is an incredible business. They take a lot of the waste from out at the factory and really turn that into bioenergy. Some incredible work going on out there. Next up, La Montura Western Wear, which is one of the businesses right here in downtown Guymon. Now we got some big old John Deere tractors coming our way. .4G Silage and Manure Services in Guymon. I guess what the FFA's done, picking up behind all the animals, they could just hand it to those guys. They'll take care of that for them, huh? Yeah. More tractors inching their way up the parade route. Looks like there's still plenty of parade to go. We see quite a few vehicles on back up the road. Always great participation here at the Pioneer Days Parade. This is Pacific Ag. Let us harvest your corn stove. I'm missing a letter there, I think. Another one of the big John Deere tractors. And here's another float from Pacific Ag. Let us harvest your corn stover. Throwing out some candy. Followed up by one of the rat rods. Spurlock's Garage, it says on the side. Our next float making their way on up. El Charro Taquitos, which is over there just outside of Hooker on Highway 54. Looks like El Charro is also sponsoring the traditional Mexican riders behind them as well. Got several semis headed our way. Chain Diesel Repair here in Guymon, Oklahoma. Looks like an old refurb style of semi coming up here behind. That orange one's from about the era. It makes me think of the movie Convoy there. Kind of that early 70s look. And a little more modern one. It's got some nice lighting on it and everything. Looking pretty slick. You could feel that horn in your chest. Looks like we've got some more riders following up this final semi truck. And they're followed up by some of the Army style vehicles. I think they're all a part of a group that they get a hold of some of these older Army style vehicles and then fix them up. Some of them, I've been in a few of them where they use them for camping and things like that. Fun little hobby for those guys who are into restoring those vehicles. And final one, a people hauler there. And one of the, looks like some of the car club members behind showing off some of their vehicles. Most of them with that legacy tag on their windshields. As we've got a little gap here again, just go over events for today. Earlier today, they did have the Pioneer Days 5K run walk, the old timer registration as well. Going on right now at the Texas County Activity Center until 7 p.m. tonight. You've got the Mercantile Arts and Crafts Show. From 2 to 8 p.m., the train out at Sunset Lake will be running. Mutton busting out at the Rodeo Arena starts at 1:15. And then the second performance of the PRCA Rodeo at Henry C. Hitch Pioneer Arena begins at 2 p.m. Free admission and parking, courtesy of Seaboard Foods. From 2 to 5, the tractor pull on the south side of the fairgrounds. And coming through now, the Guymon dance team. They may stop here. Looks like they're going to. They'll probably hop off and give us a performance. So here they are, the Guymon High School dance team. And a big thank you to the Guymon High School dance team for stopping by and giving us a performance. Cool pickup hauling them around as well. And it looks like we've got aliens and astronauts headed our way. Next up, Ortiz Beauty Salon. Next up is Equity Bank. Next up, PCHC. Been in service in the area for 10 years now. And here we are with State Farm, Charles White. Throwing out some Frisbees. Cade Ralston, 15 years old and second in the world for rookie in USRA. So local kid doing well in the racing circuit. And there is the ride in the city of Guymon. One of the buses they have that'll take you around town. Next up, Fast Lane Tires and Service. Tire repair, brakes, new tires, balancing, oil changes, and alignments. Some more nice vehicles pulling through. Looks like our next float is Guymon Soccer. There's Guymon High School. A great soccer program here, both boys and girls. Next up is Shot Callers. I'm sure that Shot Callers basketball, one of the travel teams. And we've got another cheer troop coming through. They're going to perform for us. Oh, big cheer for the Guymon High School cheerleaders. Our next float is TCEC, our cooperative partner here in the Oklahoma Panhandle with us at PTCI. We handle your fiber optics and cellular needs. They take care of making sure you've got electricity, and that's their teaching trailer. They take that out and give some great lessons to kids about the great things about electrical power, but also the dangers of it as well and what to avoid. Next up, Farm Credit of Western Oklahoma, their office here in Guymon, on the north end of town. And next up, PTCI. For all your cellular and internet needs, to be able to have fiber optic, gigabit speed, multi-gig in some places, speed internet all the way out here in the Oklahoma Panhandle is an amazing thing. They're handing out throwing out all kinds of stuff. Western Equipment, your local John Deere dealer here in Guymon, and also around the entire area too, as they bring a couple of vehicles through. Next up, Live Broadband. Adams Farms and Harvesting up next out of Baker, Oklahoma. Next up, Windows Plus Oklahoma. Right here in Guymon, quality windows, quality prices. Next up, we've got some traditional Mexican dancing.
Watch out, kids.
And also Guymon High School Halo. Next up, the bus for Sunset Lane Baptist Church here in Guymon. Next, Lee's Heating and Air. HVAC, geothermal, VRF, boilers, chillers, and ice machines. They've got it all. Next up, Guymon's Garage Door and Gates. Next up, Tres por Trios Restaurant. We've got a nice float there. We put some nice work into that. What was that? Was something big that came? Oh, like a Kinder?
Hey, make sure you're staying back, okay?
Next up, Palateria Brianna. All kinds of traditional Mexican treats.
Elliot.
Next up, J.C. Soon Custom Pools and Construction. Can reach them at 405-570-4793. I believe this next car is from Regency down the road. They're advertising their RV show on 24th Street from 12 to 3 p.m. That's 24th Street Autos is actually who both of those vehicles are for, as we've got one of their RVs behind them. So they've got a little RV show. Going on today. Got us a souped up roadster here, kind of a mix of old and new in the style there. Next up, Max Motorsports. Over here off of 2nd Street, sales and service. Got all kinds of four-wheelers, as well as motorcycles too. Get this old style pickup, beautiful vehicle. Next up, Tornadoes Soccer here in Guymon. It's a local traveling soccer team. Youngsters riding along in the back. Their soccer ball caught up in the tornado. They did a good job on that. Yeah, Tornadoes Football Club here in Guymon. Triple V Recycling right behind them. Once again this afternoon, the mud busting starts at 1:15 out at Henry C. Hitch Pioneer Arena. 2 o'clock will be the second rodeo performance. Tonight, the third will take place at 7:30. And then tomorrow afternoon at 2 will be the fourth and final performance. And our winner for the Pioneer Days Award, Best Overall. And the kids do not care that there's a semi coming right at them. This is Golden Mesa Casino and their float. I'm guessing that's a replica of their coming hotel they're putting out there at the casino. Our next float Nuestra Tierra Market. They got a little live music as a part of it. Q-Vest following them up. Next up, Las Tres Reinas. They own some convenience stores over in Goodwell and Hardesty. And they are throwing out buckets of candy. Barber Oil or Baber Oilfield Services here in Guymon. Security Finance, loans and taxes. Some more of our vehicle entries. Now we have a second group of riders that are coming through that are in the traditional Mexican vaquero wear. And got a little band going as well with that. Quite a few in that group. QV Tiger Concrete Construction and Construction. The Marshall Award for Best Commercial Float goes to Sims Electric. They may leave with a hoof print or a tire track, but they're going to have a full basket of candy. Yeah. Sims Electric, the future is now, and we are ready. That vehicle coming through just says Chief DDS Services. And followed up by Yes Finance with Fast Cash. Next up is Express Wellness Urgent Care, as they'll wait the street to clear of kids chasing candy and cups. Next up is Air Pro Heating and Cooling. 580-338-4328. Next up, Munchies. All kinds of tasty treats. They're serving up. More of the vehicle entries. Rodriguez Transmission and Auto Service. And we are coming near the end as we see the Guymon Police and Texas County Police cars are traditionally the end of our parade. Once again, we want to thank the sponsors of the parade, the Guymon Chamber of Commerce and also Connection Church. The parade lineup volunteers Guymon Lions Club and Priesthood Motorcycle Ministries. We also want to thank the Guymon or Goodwell and Texoma FFA groups for their cleanup of the parade. Like we said earlier, you have this many animals, part of a parade, and this busy of a day, you got to have people following behind, cleaning up all that mess. So thank you to them as well. Thank you for all the city employees who helped make this possible, getting things ready. So from all of us at PTCI, we sure hope you'll enjoy this parade, our coverage of the parade. Hope you'll come out and enjoy the rodeo and other festivities going on here in Guymon. It's always a treat. The 93rd Pioneer Days Parade and also rodeo here in Guymon, Oklahoma, as we sign off for the day. Have a great one.